There is one cave out here somewhere. There's no service here. So I keep thinking I'm hearing knocking. What is that singing sound? Tell me you hear that. I hope my mic is picking that up. I'm here in the Southwestern United States, above 10,000 feet, and I have 3 objectives today. The first one, I'm trying to find a 1,000-year-old hunting camp up here in the high pines. What it looks like, I don't exactly know. The second thing is to find a more established hunting camp that's a few miles from where I am now. So I'm gonna get moving and I'll update you with a little more information about this site as I get closer to it. I mean, if that thing fell on your head, it would more than ruin your day. My hope is that I get out of this forest without having anything like that happen. I don't know if you could hear that, but this forest seems to be crumbling all around me. More than half of the trees are dead, and I keep thinking I'm hearing knocking or like an axe, someone splitting wood. And it's knocking behind me and knocking ahead of me. So it's almost like, where do you go where it's safe? Do you hear that? What is that singing sound? It's like coming in front of me and behind me. Is that the wind blowing through the trees? Oh, it's like 4 or 5 people wailing. Tell me you hear that. I hope my mic is picking that up. Alright, so I heard it right in here, and now it seems to be gone. It's almost like elk. I don't know if you've heard an elk call. I don't know what that was. For a second it was surrounding me. I don't know if this mic picked it up, but it was 50 yards, 25 yards ahead of me, and then behind me, and then out to my left and to my right. Honestly, it was windy, so I was thinking maybe it was like trees rubbing up on one another and creating this squealing sound. I don't know if I'm gonna include this in the video. My throat's really dry. Because I'm not one to kind of believe in the supernatural, but I'm trying to get the goosebumps to go away. I'm not terrified, I'm just creeped out. There's a creek. Alright, so I'm just gonna say that they were elk, and somehow, even though they sounded like they were a stone's throw from me, I never saw any. Alright, I'm gonna shake that off. Alright, so the third reason, and the reason why I'm in a hurry, is because I was out here early this morning getting some B-roll footage, and I encountered some high winds, and I had to land it in a safe place. Where that safe place is, I don't exactly know. But it has a beacon as long as the battery is charged, and it's really low, so it's so hard walking out here with all these logs. So I'm hoping to get to it before the battery dies. So since I landed in the clearing, the easiest thing to do would be to get on satellite images and mark all the clearings in the area, but there's no service here. So these trees that are snapping they keep scaring me. I mean, I'll show you what. Sometimes it's just easier to walk on the logs than to climb over them. Whoa. I didn't realize that I was using that Widowmaker to brace myself. It doesn't look like much, but a few 100 pounds from 20, 30 feet in the air definitely take me out. All right, I'm halfway to where my drone was. Man, this is dangerous. I just ate it. I don't know what's safer. I guess walking on the ground. Stepped on this thing. This thing got me, see. I'm starting to get all the signs that say abort this mission, but if my drone wasn't out there, I would seriously consider just turning around and listening to my gut. So I'm gonna keep going. Hearing that same whining sound. I'm gonna try and track it down, get an answer to this mystery. See, it's moving. It was right out in front of me. That's behind me. Well, to the right. It's all the same pitch moving around me. What is that? There it was. It sounds like a dove, but it's not a dove. It's like a wood flute, like that's the best way to describe it. It would make sense that the wind's causing it, but why is it always the same tone, same octave? It came from right there, that really loud one. See, right there is a strong wind gust, and that's when it should coincide, but I didn't hear it. And I've sat through a few wind gusts, and I don't hear it anymore. At all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I could see why people believe in Bigfoot. There's some weird sounds out here. I don't believe it's Bigfoot. I'm just trying to get to the mystery of it as to why they all make the same sound. I could see a clearing through the trees. I gotta get to my drone. I've been trying to solve this mystery of the singing trees. Sniff out that drone. Now it looked like there was a cow trail that cut through here, and I was trying to land it near that cow trail, but the signal cut out, so I don't know. Oh! Found it. The battery died, but it's safe. So now I could return to the mission at hand, and let me explain a little bit more about this place. All right, so based on what I know, the site that I'm looking for should be along this ridgeline. The people that occupied this site occupied an area about 20 miles from here. And that area has significant structures. This one does not. This one is a hunting camp. But what archaeologists found out here, something very specific, is part of the reason I'm out here. Now, where is the site? Well, these people are known to occupy very rugged landscapes, specifically on ridges that have commanding views of their surroundings. It's argued that they were a paranoid people, that they didn't trade much, that they were kind of considered outsiders that kept to themselves. For instance, the obsidian that was found out here comes from this region or very close by. It was something that they procured themselves. And Chaco Canyon isn't very far from here, so you would think there would be a lot of trade going on. But at Chaco Canyon, there's not much obsidian from this region traded into Chaco Canyon. It's mostly chert flakes from the west and from the south. So you have this major population at Chaco Canyon, and you have these outsiders out here, and they're kind of ignoring each other. At least that's what the argument is. On the ground, this is what it looks like. So you can see how it's going to be really challenging to find anything. I don't know, this seems pretty impossible to me, but I'm just now starting. See if anywhere opens up. See, it kind of flattens out here. Some rocks. All right, so with some simple reasoning, you would think, okay, 1,000 years ago, it doesn't mean that the site is cleared. It could be completely overgrown, and it may very well be, but the archaeologists that excavated this site 50, 60 years ago, it had to be clear then, so that would mean that it should be clear now to some extent. And this place is clear, so maybe I'm gonna find something here. I spent about 20 minutes here and I don't see anything. I'm gonna move on from this site. So what I'm wondering, how did these archaeologists find this spot? My guess is it was still this dense. So here's the first time have a significant ridge. I'm 2 hours in of searching and I haven't really seen anything. My question is, what did the archaeologists see out here that made them realize it was a site? Did they just look down and they found a point, like a arrow point or spear point, and they realized they were sitting on a site? That could be a possibility. Or did they see an actual circle or some sort of sign of a footprint of a hunting camp? What does a hunting camp look like? I haven't seen artifacts or anything that looks like a dwelling site. The archaeologists that excavated this site 50, 60 years ago, they found an archaic point, an archaic spear point or atlatl point. And archaic stretches back as far as 8,000 years. It could be as early as 2,500 years ago. So it's a very old point, and there's a lot of significance with this point. One, it's a Pelican Lake point. I mean, even to get down to actual soil where the artifacts would be, I mean, everything is going to be under 4 inches of organic material. Occasionally you do see spots where it opens up and it's just the actual earth exposed. And I thought maybe I'd get lucky, something would be obvious and reveal itself, but clearly, I wouldn't say I was naive, I would say I was optimistic. So what is the Pelican Lake Point, and what's the significance of it? The Pelican Lake Point comes from nearly 1,000 miles. Roughly the closest area it would come from is northern Wyoming, northeast Wyoming, near Gillette, and that's the southern periphery of the Pelican Lake region. That whole region stretches all the way up into Saskatchewan, into Canada. So that point is here, way south in the Four Corners area. And that brings up a lot more questions as well. How did it get here? Did the people who built this camp, who settled here 700 to 1,000 years ago, did they bring it here? Or did the Archaic people from thousands and thousands of years ago, did they bring it here? Where I'm at right now, this ridge here, this is the highest or northernmost hunting camp, and it wasn't found up here. It was found a couple miles below here. I'm gonna move on to where the Pelican Lake Point was found. I've never been to that site, so I don't know that I could find it, but based on the archaeological reports that I read, there's some bigger landmarks there. There's some rock features. So I think I should find some of the sites and hopefully stand in that area where it was found. All right, I'm starting to get in the neighborhood of this hunting camp. There should be some different sites that are along a lava flow. And by lava flow, I think it's mostly broken up lava rocks. I don't know exactly where the site is. It made it seem like it was self-evident, like it was right along this lava flow. And I hope it isn't a giant area. Starting to see the first rocks. There's no way. I just got to the edge of the lava flow, and clearly there's been a wall built here. I can't believe it. Like, what are the odds that I would find this quick? Right there is a wall, and it seems on this side is a wall as well. Now, how high that stood, I don't know. I could guess maybe high enough for someone to build a roof over. Maybe. But that's clearly brought in by humans. And look, here's this white rock that's in the mix. Is this? It almost seems like granite, but this is like a type of chert that you could make spear points with, and it's clearly been broke off here. Thought that groups of 2 on up to 12 lived here in different camps scattered along this lava flow. You could see these 2 walls on the left and right side of the frame. This wall continues on deeper into the trees back there, so I'm guessing there are more structures back there. Well, this one seems to end right here. I also read about a small cave up here, and I don't know that I'm gonna find that cave. That seems like I'd have to put in lots of days of searching. But imagine if I stumbled upon that cave. That'd be so cool. It is hot. Can't believe how hot it is for being up in the forest. It's gotta be close to 90 up here. It just seems so hot. Oh, look. Here's another wall. I mean, these walls stretch pretty far. This is like 40. I mean, these walls are big. What are they doing with such giant walls? Look at that thing. It stretches from there. That's easily 120 feet around. Like each wall is 50 to 60 feet. Oh. This rock is way more rugged than I thought. I was thinking it's going to be a lava flow with broken up rocks, but these rocks are the size of houses. I kind of see a cave down there. It's not really a cave. Here, let me see if you can see it from here. I don't know that it's a cave per se, but it is something. Yeah, it's not a cave, but multiple skulls here. There's that one. And then there's this one. That one's bigger. There's two different species here. I don't know which is which. This one kind of has a ridge on it. This one doesn't. I don't know enough about them to know what animals these were. Is this one like a fox or a coyote with this ridge on top here? So is this like a mountain lion or even a small bear. Oh. Huh. Interesting. I think I know why there's two skulls here. What sort of trap is this though? Fishing line and wire, and this pie plate, which is a shiny object. It's been here for a while because you could see that this branch that it was attached to is actually embedded now in the Y of this tree. So did this snare two animals, or did they use one of the animals as bait? I don't really know much about snares or traps, so if anyone can explain, I'd really appreciate it. I know that bobcats and mountain lions prefer rocky places like this with places to hide. It's also a place that gives them the opportunity to be above their prey, to jump down on their prey, and they could walk on the rocks much more quieter and sneak up on their prey. So it makes sense that this place has a lot of mountain lions, but what it makes me also wonder is the ancient people that hunted here had to encounter these giant cats. Were they hunted at times themselves? Did a mountain lion or bobcat ever try and attack them? I think I see the entrance. I don't want to say a cave, but it's something worth checking out if I don't kill myself here. I mean, it's somewhat a cave. I mean, it's a cave. I don't see that it was occupied, but I'm in the earth. That's somewhat as the archaeologists described it. The thing is, though, I didn't see any signs of occupation, that it was inhabited, so there's no telling where that actual one is. This place was dormant for 1,000 years, and it was brought back to life, so to speak, by an archaeologist 50 or plus years ago. She's since passed. It seems like it's being forgotten again. There is one cave out here somewhere, and where that is, I don't know. You could see how big this lava field is, this rock field, so it's going to take some more time to find it. Wow, this is a pretty significant structure. This is more than I imagined would be here. I was expecting to find maybe rings of rocks or 1 foot high walls, but this one's almost 3 feet tall. So you could imagine if it was fully stacked, it was the height of a person. So it probably had, I'm guessing, beams overhead and was a fully enclosed structure. So you could see here is that main wall, but also out here, these rocks look stacked. Looks like there's a stack of rocks here. So it's probably 2 large structures here. All right, so I've been walking around here for about 3 hours. It was really cool to find that structure hidden in the rocks. Oh wow, here's even another one. The light's kind of getting low, it's harder to see, but you can see these right here. All the way to here. Here's another one, you could see the walls where the walls used to be, right here. Even out to there. And then it seems like it was joined with this one over here. Unfortunately, it looks like Max got in poison ivy or poison oak, and that means I need to cut this trip short. I was gonna spend another day out here, but now I gotta get him back and give him a bath. Poor guy, I feel really bad for him. There must have been a decent amount of game up here for them to turn this into a hunting ground, and with it being 20 to 40 miles from their normal habitation sites across the valley to the other mountains, that would allow them for the wild game to recover, and they could return back here and hunt when their supplies back home got kind of thinned out and eliminated. The reason I came out here was because of that Pelican Lake style point. To imagine its story from 750 to 1200 miles from here, making its way across the plains, across the mountains, to never get damaged, and then end up here to lie dormant for a few thousand years, and for another people to find it 750, maybe 1,000 years ago, and modify it and make a tool of their own. The stories they may have told each other, the legends that may have been built around that point. And then, after they were gone, it sat dormant again for archaeologists to find. Where that point is right now, I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably in a museum somewhere. But maybe that point will be returned to this land one day. I know it's probably a far stretch, but it could. And maybe it'll sit in the ground for another 1,000 years for someone in the future to find it and wonder about what stories it has to tell.